It's our first full day in Japan. We arrived yesterday. We got Luna off the plane. We've settled her into the Airbnb, taken her for a little walk around the block. Today we are on our way to drop off our first hire car. It's a bit of a beast. I think Nate showed you yesterday. And it's really hard to get around the city in a big car because there's so many pokey little streets. Like last night we tried to find our Airbnb and it was a nightmare trying to reverse this thing in and out. So we're taking it back and we're picking up another hire car that's a bit smaller, and we're going to use that today to make our way around Osaka and look at some properties, because what we're doing here as a part of our big move is that we are buying houses and we are renovating them and setting them up as Airbnbs. We've been working with somebody who is Japanese and she speaks English and Japanese, so she's helping us buy the properties and she's set up these inspections for us today. So yeah, we've seen a couple of photos of the places. We don't know what they're like really, how, like, most of them are quite old. I would say probably 40 years, 50 years old, which is fine for us. Like, we, you know, as we're from Australia, buying old properties and renovating them is very normal for us. But in Japan, it's not as common. The Japanese people don't really, from what we know, they don't really buy old properties so much. They like new properties. That's today, and please drop in the comments what you thought of our last episode. We want to hear from you. This is our second episode. It's very new, so we want to grow and learn and hear your feedback. So let us know what you thought and enjoy today. We're on our way to inspect the first house that we're looking at today. I think we have about 4 houses that we're going to see, and we're looking for a house that we can do a little bit of renovations and then list it as a short-term rental. So there's some specific things that we're kind of looking for. We're looking for a place that is actually allowed to be a short-term rental. Firstly, because they have restrictions in Japan around that. Not every house is allowed to be a short-term rental, and some houses have restrictions on how many days they can be rented out for. So we're looking for something that we're allowed to rent it out for 365 days a year. That would be the first thing. And then secondly, people generally look for houses that are somewhat close to a train station, because Osaka is very big and getting around can be difficult. So if it's conveniently located near a train station, walking distance, and then it's a few stops away from some of the, you know, popular spots like the Dotonbori area where people go, the big nightlife, all the restaurants and everything. So that's another thing we're looking for. But then we're also looking for something that potentially has a car space. As in, like, somewhere you can store a car park, a garage, because that is not as common in Osaka. It is when you go out of the city and you buy a house out there, there's lots of space, but in the city they're really compact, really small houses, and not many of them have car spaces. So we have a few things we're looking for, and fingers crossed we can find something that somewhat meets all of that. So yeah, today's the day. Hopefully we find a house and we will show you around them when we get there. So we just had a look at the first property and oh my gosh, what a disaster we were. Trying to find the property to begin with was a mission because the addresses around here are very different. It's like 2-4-7, and then there's a street name, and then there's an area name, and then there could be another area name, and I'm sure they all have a purpose and a meaning, but we haven't figured that out yet. So trying to find an address is really, really challenging. Our maps just don't like the addresses apparently. So we got there an hour late and we inspected this little property it was really cute, and it had some character to it, but it was way too small for what we need. It was 2-bedroom, I think they said 3, but hardly, and just really like claustrophobic and hot. So we're looking for something that is a little bit bigger, still within our price range though. But just wait for it. The worst part was we were just so frantic to try and get there, being an hour late, that I walked inside the house. I wasn't even thinking. I greeted the guy and I left my shoes on, which is not what you do in a Japanese house. You take your shoes off at the door and then you put slippers on, or you just don't wear shoes. But I left my shoes on, and I left them on while I walked upstairs and walked on the tatami mats, which is, if you know Japanese culture, it's a very culturally significant space within the house, is the tatami mats on the floor and the tatami room. I didn't even know until we left, and Nate was like, oh my God, what were you doing? So I feel terrible, but you know, this is a part of the journey, right? This is a part of it. I'll never ever wear shoes on tatami mats ever again. Off to our second property now, and let's hope that we get there on time. We just visited was pretty good. It was spacious, there was nice light and windows to let air in. It was a 4-bedroom, had a nice view. There was lots of things about it to love, though it is quite far from the main city area. So it has a car park, so potentially we could get a car, people could use that. Yeah, it's a tricky one because I think a lot of people on holiday, they want to be able to access public transport, so it needs to be close as well. Anyway, we have had a massive morning, and poor Luna is still back at our Airbnb, so we're going to go back and see her now and reassess where we're at with it all. Stop hitting the doors with your tail.
I guess I'll be on my way now. You just give me a...
Down at Dotonbori tonight for dinner. Luna's first time, Elisha's first time, my second time. It's funny walking through here. People look at Luna and I reckon she's the first pit bull ridgeback that's been through Dotonbori from Australia. A lot of people are surprised. Some people think we're bringing a lion through Dotonbori, but most people seem to love her.
Well, miss, I guess I'll be on my way now. You just give me a...
Back home from Dotonbori, we went down there, and that was my first time tonight being down there, and Luna's first time as well. So many people were staring at her, of course, because there are no dogs down there, and she is massive. It's like a lion walking through a crowded street of people, and yeah, most people liked her. Some people were scared. A lot of people just seem really surprised. We are pretty tired from another big day. Today didn't go to plan. We thought it would go quite smoothly. It didn't, but that's okay. It's all a part of the journey, and we came into this knowing that, we're going to have challenges and it's not always going to be easy. I look very tired right now because we've had a massive couple of days. But we're going to try again tomorrow. We've got another house inspection tomorrow. So fingers crossed this is a good one. And we are going to plan ahead with our timing to actually get to the property because we got lost today multiple times. So wish us good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, she's cozy. Good night.